Good morning, good morning, good morning. Blah, I cannot even speak. So guys, I'm going to put the music on and grab myself a cup of coffee, and hopefully we are going to start right on the dot. Okay, see you soon. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you see this little bit of a tail? There is like somebody who was joining us for a second. And let's see who is here. Brooklyn was here. Tori, I'm love. I'm love. I was just about to say I'm in love. So that obviously it is something that's going to happen. Kylie sent me a note that her kid is sick. So let's send some kind of like warm thoughts to Kylie. And hopefully she is going to recover really quickly. So Brooklyn, can you be a moderator in charge today? Hopefully you're around. Last time I didn't manage to catch you in time, so hopefully this time we can do it. I hope everybody had a good week. I got a really bad flu, and I didn't have a flu in 15 years, and I got much better by yesterday, and then today again kind of like woke up a little bit weird. So hello to everybody. Please kind of like wash your hands, not to get this. It's kind of like not horrible, but it's annoying, of course, because it makes you feel a little bit lethargic. But hopefully, you know, I'm going to have enough energy to do this. Okay, Brooklyn, that's it. Awesome. I almost said awful. So if I say crazy things, that's simply, you know, tiredness and exhaustion. Hi Letty, good morning, sweetie. Oh my gosh, Letty, I really need to express a public gratitude. Letty is my force behind me for all this time that I had with Tiger in the last week. She's the one maintaining kind of like social media and making this alive, but hopefully everything will happen really and turn around soon. I think Mr. Tiger is getting better. Yeah, I had this chest cold and coughing and temperature and lovely things. So what I'm going to do today, again, I'm going to pull one card for an element, and then I'm going to read that element, and so on and so forth. So we are going to see kind of like what's going on. So Lati, Brooklyn is, and I don't know if you were here, Brooklyn is a mod in charge, and who should get a reading? I think Barbie needs to get a reading here. So Barbie, fill my form. Lati is going to give it to you, and so we can kind of like see what's going on there. So Celia Jane was the lucky one. She won twice in a row. So yay. And we have to think of something else. I have something going on in 2 weeks where I have to go with my dad 2 days in a hospital. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to meet you on Saturday. That will be 23rd. But I'm not going to cancel it right now. I just first want to see if I can do it somehow remotely or what else is going to happen. So okay, so let's see. So let's start because it's Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. Let's go with water. And Tori will be fine, guys. I did a quickie reading on Tori. It might be something that kind of like looks scary. Sorry to say publicly, Tori, but you know, just I know that she's really scared. She will be fine, but like still, let's send her this healing energy to kind of like relax her. Okay, so let's see. Water, what are you guys getting? Oh, water is getting lake. So water, are you feeling a little bit slowed down? Are you feeling that, hey, you know, life is getting too fast? Oh my goodness, where the hell do you live? We just like are coming out of winter. And by the way, in Toronto, we still have snow on the ground. It really looks like it's the middle of the winter. Very unusual. Toronto is not in the snow belt. So honestly, I had enough of snow. And you're hearing this from a person who loves snow. And today it was announced that we are going to have rains. Lots of rain starting in the evening. It's going to warm up a little bit. And hopefully it's going to melt everything that is going on around. So what do we see over here? It's also called stillness because we see almost like this beautiful nature, even the little boat parked over there, and so it's waking up. Whenever I see this card, I think of that scene from The Notebook. Anybody seen The Notebook? To me, this is the ultimate romantic movie, and I know it's cheesy. Yes, I do know. But oh my gosh, like aren't those two Canadians actors like so much fun? So remember, for those of you who watched it, it was that scene when he took her out in the morning to see swans, and it was like sort of like a really romantic scene. So that's kind of like what this reminds me, that something can start really quiet and unexpected, but you know, I really think that this card is saying no matter what was going on in your life, that maybe you kind of like need to kind of like take it a little bit slower, and that maybe you caught a virus, which I would call hurry up virus or hurry up syndrome, and don't feel trapped in whatever you feel you have to accomplish, because there is like some kind of noise that is going on around you. Like, I mean, it can be literal noise, it can be just simply too many people want something from you, and it's kind of like you're caught in some kind of like non-stop thinking where you're more emoting, kind of like right, your element is emoting. So it's really important to go inside of yourself. So whichever method you're using, prayer or meditation or simply kind of sitting in the nature, just use it. It's going to really work. Hello Chris, nice to see you over here. So let's start with Pisces. Pisces. Oh, we have had a cold winter. A once in 100-year storm came through. Boy, this was like unusual winter, and getting tiger in this winter, I'm telling you, somebody told me this is not for sissies. Trust me, it was not for sissies. And I was like so sedentary, and now going out so many times per day, it's going to benefit both of us, but not in such horrible freezing temperatures. So Pisces, whoa, I'm getting Sea Queen. This is like so you, like you're like going fully emotional, fully kind of like encompassing, fully, hey, I kind of like whenever I see this like fountain, you know, usually you come to the fountain and you just like throw a coin. Where the heck did I put my angel cards? I'm trying to remember, cannot think of it. I'm taking gypsy cards if I need to, I guess, clarify anything. So this, in the fountain, you kind of like make a wish and throw a coin, and kind of like there is like that feeling of warmth when you do that, right? And Pisces, I'm really feeling that there is like something like this, kind of like make a wish. I know that Nine of Cups is usually made into wish card, and I never seen that card as a wish card. However, I do see it over here in this particular deck, that there's like this presence that you will have where it's going to feel like, oh my goodness, like, you know, I am just belonging here. And you're going to pay particular attention to pets, to children, and maybe people will look you up for simply kind of like a shoulder to kind of like lie on, or not so much as a soundboard, because it's going to be sort of like more still kind of a thing, but you're going to have that emotional strength to provide, and it's going to be really, really amazing, right? So let me just see. Let me see. So you also have the Sun and you have Earth Kitten. Oh my goodness, Pisces, such a beautiful finale of your birthday. So the Sun card in this particular deck is a little bit different than in the other decks. So we see here almost like the Egyptian goddess, kind of like the cat god that is basically worshipped, and the Sun basically carving over here, right, in the stone. So now almost like tells me that it talks about who is in your inner circle, that even though you have all this goodness that you are giving to the others, and you know that you still have to be almost like discriminatory to, hey, you know, not everybody who offers, as you can see this kitty over here, I don't know if you can see it, like, I mean, lying on the back, oh, look at me, rub my tummy kind of a thing. And who is on the outskirts of your own life. You have to be really, really clear about it, because this emotion should have limits, kind of a thing. You know, I know we all talk about unconditional love and this and that, but this also talks about opening to something, and it's something slowly moving. The Sun can also talk about a commitment, and if you're asking about solution of some kind or about someone, then this is usually a very, very promising card, which kind of like says, yeah, the Sun is going to shine, you're going to get clarity, and especially about the issues that maybe were foreign or strange to you, or you really didn't know how to react. Earth Kitten, like, right, you have the kitten and hedgehog kind of like sniffing each other and wondering like, what the heck are you? So it's simply saying, look, you know, maybe kind of like realizing that certain things can be accomplished in a different way, and kind of like dealt with that. It's going to be maybe a little bit studious nature that you're going to have in this particular time. I don't really have anything to clarify over here, but I'm going to pull one card here for you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, we just started Yon, so no worries. Let me pull a card here. And look at here, we have conversation that is reversed. So yeah, you're not really in conversations this particular week. It's going to be stillness and quietness. Like, why do we have lots of Pisces introverts over here? I mean, I have a friend from Argentina. She's Pisces, and she's just like that. She says sometimes she gets lots of guests, and she's married into Italian family, and she says, I just go in the bedroom and I cry. I cannot take this many people. I'm so introverted. Like, they are just like, I mean, simply kind of like latching into my energy. So it's kind of like very cute. But like here I'm feeling that this could be one of those situations where a family could gather, and it could be just like simply the amount of energy could be sheer overwhelming. So that's why I'm saying kind of like really figure out not to extend yourself too much, because it looks like people are used to kind of like knowing that you are the place to go where they need something, or you know, somebody who's going to listen. But you need to, this particular week, kind of like pay attention to yourself. So who are we going to do next, Safi? We have a suggestion. You want me to do Scorpio next? Or Cancer? Okay, let's do Cancer then. Let's do Cancer. Hey, you furry butt. Hey, you little furry butt. Let's do Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. So what happens? Somebody has a situation. Lottie has a situation. Let me have a sip of coffee. Ah, good coffee. Okay. Oh, Cancer. Something jumped out. Seven of Sky. Okay. Why? Why did the card have to come out? Did somebody kind of like cut you short, or took something away from you, or you feel that you're not getting credit? Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Sorry guys, let me just grab my phone to have it handy, because usually Lottie is like the one jumping at me if something goes off, so I just want to have it close by. As I suspected, she did notify me, so hopefully we see each other right now. Okay guys, I don't know what's going on. It's probably my internet this time around. So is everybody okay? You can see everything? Hopefully just let me know. Okay, we are back. Okay. So guys, you also got a Sky King as I was shuffling cards in the meantime, which is really, really good. So this card is really telling you that you spent too much time in your head. You were trying to figure out some strategy. Somebody, sorry to say, screwed you over. It really feels like you really got a short end of the stick. And you had like these big hopes, you know. I played this game, Bridge. And sometimes you think, oh my God, I'm going to take everything. I have like this hand, which is amazing. And you ended up like losing. And like, how did that happen, right? It's just like sometimes things turn sour. And it looks like this week, if something like this goes bad, it's really telling you to kind of like rebalance, because it's only temporarily. And it's kind of like really interesting, because if you react, it might actually explode in your face, because there is like this fairness that is going to really kind of like come back and help you. The Sky King is somebody who's maybe quiet, who's not extremely vocal. This can actually also talk about somebody coming through and being your hero, somebody standing up for you, somebody maybe seeing this is happening and reacting. And this can be actually also behind the back, kind of like something that you're not even aware of. If you're a lady who is wondering about somebody, maybe somebody did something underhanded and things are going to just sort themselves out. So that's why the stillness is saying just like it's no need to kind of like really spend much time thinking about it, because things are going to really end well over here. Yeah, that's right, it's a Mercury retrograde, so it's going to be fun. I spilled coffee yesterday on my laptop. I already had car fixed, like when was it, last week or so, ooh, lovely, or 2 weeks ago. So you have the Prison, and that would make sense to me. I don't know, maybe some of you are trapped in a relationship, not knowing what to do with that, not even seeing. You see this like vase, this vase in this particular deck represents hope, that you shouldn't feel hopeless, you shouldn't feel chained to the decision, you shouldn't feel hopeless. Some of you might be dealing with possibly even a legal situation. Some of you might be possibly dealing with, I don't know, if you have a hearing coming up of some sort, it's not going to be as harsh as, you know, you are fearing. So that clearly can be that kind of like meaning, given that we got a Prison card. But here also it is like saying that you shouldn't really find too much or spend too much time in your head, because there is like a help, there is like a possibility of something happening or something opening to you. So this is going to be a really, really strong message for you, my dear Cancer. Okay, so let's see now. Oh my gosh, look at all this Mercury retrograde stories. Amazing. Anybody says, oh, it's just like crazy, blah blah blah. Yeah, for sure. Just let's see what's happening to you, because like my brother, who kind of really gets his readings when he needs them. He's running a really huge IT department that does basically all big websites for the entire Europe. And when I introduced him to the concept of Mercury retrograde, he was like laughing it off. And then now he already knows that he'll be on call and working extra hours, and it's already started. Like, I mean, 8:30 he's coming home and that kind of stuff. So everybody, especially in his kind of like field, that's really, really prominent. So let's see, we are going to go Scorpio. Scorpio, no bueno, Latino bueno, no necesito. Mercury retrograde, come on. Let's plead to Mercury not to go retrograde ever again. Even though it's really good for certain things to get us to do it, right? So to catch up on your taxes, and it's going to promise a good resolution of these kind of things, to take all things from kind of like out of these mothballs and see what can be kind of like used, etc, etc. So haha. cutie. So Lati, I didn't even ask you, because you can, if you want, you can call. If you are not up to it, that's okay, because we didn't really arrange it before. So we have 10 of Sea and Earth King over here. So now that's kind of like really interesting, because Scorpio, oh my goodness, you're going to feel grounded. You're going to feel everybody is counted on. Your family is here for you. You know where you're going. You're feeling strong. You're feeling powerful. It's kind of really interesting, because look at that. Everybody has something high. Pisces had Queen. Cancer had King, and you have King. So this is like really talking about developing different aspects of maturity, right? So for you, it's a little bit about not only kind of gathering the family and having all the kind of like sheeps like counted, but it's also like understanding that where you're going makes sense. It's going to be extremely family oriented thing, because look at this Earth King. He is working really hard for where he's going, and it's also kind of sometimes including and needing sacrifices. Now, all of you water signs are going to have possibly, either this could be you getting into this like high mature stage and seeing things in a different way, or it could be that all of you are going to have somebody right showing up, somebody really knocking on your door and saying, okay, you know, this is that Mr. or Mrs. Right finally appearing, right? So it's going to be maybe more extroverted for Cancer and Scorpio person, more introverted for Pisces. And really, guys, you have to just simply be water, have to be emotional, have to be vulnerable, and you're not going to go wrong with that. Just Cancers, yeah, you're more or less in your head, and it's going to be a little bit harder week for you. But Scorpio and Pisces, oh my goodness, it's really, really lovely. So let me grab over here one more card for you. Wow, cheerfulness. Cheerfulness is again about jollity and crowd, and I don't know, like, what guys are you? What's up with you? You want to be cheerful? You want to be cheerful? Do you love Scorpios? How much do you love Scorpios? Any Scorpio over here, you're getting the special touch of luck over here in this furry kind of like outfit. So she's like still cool with Tiger, but Matrix is starting hissing game. So not more to add over here. I'm really happy for you, Pisces, Pisces and Scorpio as well, because you're going to have a really heck of a good time over here. So Miss Effie, do you think I can grab those cards, or you have to mess everything up? Huh? How about no messing cards? Huh? Huh, baby? How about no messing cards? Yeah, you want to discard? You want to discard? Huh? Oh my goodness, I have like all of a sudden the kitty cats, which kind of like were sort of mature, are now turning into kids. With Tiger, it's kind of like, pick me, how come you're playing just with him all the time? So it's kind of like really interesting. I know, like, I mean, I bought a whole bunch of these, what do you call it, spherical bowls, right? And I have them in a window, so that's why you see this rainbow reflections over here. And I usually use those crystal kind of like spheres, multifaceted spheres, instead of my Christmas ornaments. So that way they kind of like spread this beautiful light around. So who is next? Who do we do next? Hey, Mrs. Rainbow, yeah. Who is next? Let's go. Air. I was thinking air actually myself. So Crystal is going to be air. You are very high temperance rising. Good to see you. Hopefully everything is okay, guys. So let's see air. How Safi, since you're here and you're air, do you want to air? Okay. Thank you for allowing us. What's with the dirty eye? Good girl. You're a good girl. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling static. Again. Air. Something flicked. Fog. Whoa. Come on, this kind of like fog has to lift. So what is really fog is nothing more, nothing less than like really kind of like low cloud that is kind of like full of basically raindrops, right? But in this particular case, is look at this, it's kind of promising of this like beautiful sun in a background. It's not necessarily the fog how I envision fog, kind of like damp and kind of like billowy arms, kind of like a fog. Usually when I see fog, I see dark, I see night, I see kind of like really hard to see through it. But in this particular case, this is really telling me that air is maybe dealing with some kind of confusion and some uncertainty and kind of like wondering, oh, is this thing is ever going to clear up? How come I kind of like don't have those thinking facilities that I used to have, kind of a thing, right? Maybe partially we are contributing to it, that we are not going with the flow with the nature because we are big thinkers, the air signs, right? So we think we can command the nature where we learn time after time. Nope, no, it's not going to work this way. So, you know, so it is kind of like maybe time to just put one step in front of another until, you know, maybe we get to a certain level of understanding that the sun is going to shine again. This is only temporarily. So let's see what's going to come out of it, right? So yeah, Kalima, I'm probably this way because of Tiger, but I thought this is just me, and you know, I don't want to reflect me on this particular reading, but who knows. So let's go with Aquarius first. Oh my gosh, Brooklyn. I bought a special, there goes one last sphere, because Safi likes to knock them down. So there you go. Okay, so that's good to see that other people are relating to that. So Aquarius, we also have Earth Kitten. So it is about studying something. It is about kind of trying to get understanding, but not necessarily in a rushed way, which is very unusual, but that's possibly because of this fog. But it's also very methodical. It's also telling us that we need to be open to anything that looks odd or different or unexpected, that in fact that could be the solution that we are seeking, because we will tend to want to disregard it when we see it and just kind of like steamroll through it with the speed that we usually as air signs do. But in fog, this is not a good thing, because it could be a really slippery slope in order to do that. You see Lati? That's because he got an hour and a half of walk in the morning. So this is the hopefully the last snow he's going to see, because it's supposed to start raining later. So now, why in the world did I get these bizarre combination here? 8 of C and 5 of C. Well, they mean a little bit different thing in this particular deck. And what they mean is this. Let me just see if I can lift this. So here we see the kitty that wanted to kind of like grab some of those fishes swimming around over here, but instead, you know how cats embarrass themselves and then they walk around as if, oh, I just meant to do that. This kitty kind of like fell in it, and there is like this whole essence of yeah, kind of like things really didn't go as planned, right? And it could be something that we might not be feeling. You know, like usually they talk about the exes. We are going after through the Mercury retrograde, that if you want to bump into your ex, you want to look your best and the most seductive, quote unquote, as a revenge. I have to tell you something. Whenever I bumped into my exes, I always looked the best, and it meant nothing. It just meant nothing. So just get it out of your head, that any kind of like sense of embarrassment or shame over here, because this is kind of like internal process. But this can also talk about not really seeing the end goal over here, and kind of like swimming in the little pond over here where there's like so much to explore. And 8 of C is telling me there's like a final sense of possibly kind of like walking away or something. But in this particular deck, look at this. We are seeing the kitty listening to that shell. And did you ever, and I think, did you ever, everyone put a shell on our ear to hear this interesting sounds that are kind of like permeating. So there is like this essence of, okay, what is out there? Maybe I really want to go and explore this world. It almost looks like there's like some kind of like desert around in this particular scene, which is kind of like really weird how they made it for the cup card. But yet there is like still that connection. So almost like nothing can happen to me. This is talking to me, Aquarius, about some kind of transformation that is taking place. There is kind of like feeling of being out of your element. It could be a little bit of emotional thing that kind of like people are going through. So it is really time to maybe revisit some friendships. Maybe somebody was relegated to the back burner. You haven't heard from someone. Maybe somebody's long distance. Maybe there was like a situation that has been embarrassing. But I think it is really time to go head on in this particular situation. Also, what I see for Aquarians is that somebody might be coming into our life who is going to kind of like sneak in. And this is the best way to get Aquarius. Not through, hey, I want to go out for a date. That kind of like works, but it's for Aquarians, hey, let's be friends. Let's do something. Kind of like works much, much better. So let's see this. Let's see. I was bumping into people when I have no makeup and sweatpants. So Brooklyn, how does that work? Like, it's almost like, hey, you know, I'm so cool. This is better than looking like, oh my gosh, you're always all made up, kind of a thing. So there are 2 or 3 cards. Again, look at this mixture from sorrow to thought to hope. So almost like it follows this. Like this is sorrow, and this could be thought, and this could be hope. And hope in particular is Aquarian card, and it could be a mix of emotions. It's almost going to be the Wheel of Fortune, like a game. Like you're going to spin the wheel, and on any given day, anything can be expected, guys. So just buckle up. That's all I can say for this particular week. It can be anything, but we are going to be finding some conclusion, and that is what is really, really important. And the conclusion is going to be, hey, I have to move forward in some kind of direction. So let's go for Gemini next. Gemini. Yeah, friends first. You know, it's not only just friends first, but like, I mean, when I meet somebody, and I'm really bad that way, I really need to know that we click as somebody who I really want to talk. But that's kind of like I'm sapiosexual, right? So where intelligence is really appealing to me. And if people are gorgeous but really, really dumb, I lose interest in less than 10 minutes. Yeah, it sucks, right? So let's go for, what did I say? Gemini, 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 Gemini. Woo, Gemini. Why did I get 5 cards for Gemini? Demon cat, big bad kitty, and then you have 9 of fire, then you have 8 of earth, and then you have 4 of sky. Same thing for you guys, Gemini. You are not going to escape the wrath of that fog. So demon cat is a good thing. This was like a bad kitty that kind of like got a hold of this bird. Sephi, I'm not talking about you. No, you're good, kitty. Are you? Do you love me? That's good. Because she needs to be fed. So she even knows when she needs to lie. So when the devil card or the demon cat is reversed, it's actually good news. That means that maybe a situation that you have been repeating as a pattern, that maybe you try to be nice towards someone who just simply doesn't deserve your niceness, or maybe you're dealing with trying to quit drinking or smoking or minimizing this, right? And somehow like you're really combating this in a nice way. Also you have the 8, just like the 8 was for Aquarius here, and you also have a 9. So you are maybe feeling that you wanted to resolve certain situations, but that situation or situations didn't really, for you, it didn't have a visible motion forward. It kind of like really felt, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with this. It could mean that you felt that somebody else is like, calling all the shots. But this is really telling me that there is like a learning experience in this particular situation that you have been going through. And maybe this whole thing was a little bit exhausting. I really like this card. Look at that. The kitty is sleeping in the lavender field. And I swear if I'll ever have a garden, I'll have so much lavender. And I really hope lavender can grow in Toronto. And it is like something we had in Croatia, and I really loved it. So this is really talking about, look, you know, guys, I know for you Geminis, chatting is almost like bloodline. You need to kind of really talk about it. But I'm also feeling over here that this week you're not going to feel as chatty. This week you're going to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to put this kind of like phone on quiet. Everybody can wait. Everybody buzz off. I'm going to just pay attention to my counseling kind of like buddies, like to people whom you really trust, even the family. You might even turn to your mother and just say, when you were younger, how you were dealing with the situation, and or what was going on back then. 8 of Earth is a really interesting card. It really talks about paying attention to the details. But overall, something is going to make you feel a bit kind of like exhausted over here, guys. So it's going to be maybe time toward the end of the week to kind of like have some time for yourself, and maybe just a day kind of like where you isolate everybody else. So let's see, let's get one card for you, and you got, oh, it's called frivolity, but you have a butterfly. And the first thought that came to my mind was, whoa, social butterfly. This is kind of like so lovely. You guys, you know, can really get out of your, you know, comfort zone. And you might really kind of like wear yourself out with dealing all this stuff. It almost looks like that even though this fog is suggesting to drive carefully, and that includes your life, no, Gemini. Gemini is like stepping on that freaking pedal. And you guys might get into trouble. I don't know, for some reason I'm feeling travel can get affected this week, which can indicate anything from being stuck in traffic to something breaking down. But I'm also feeling tickets, so be very, very careful, guys. Frivolity is a really good card. It really talks about lightness and talks about feeling free of something. And I really feel this is like the demon cat. There's like something that felt kind of like heavy and was dragging you down, and finally there is like some kind of release over here. And drunk butterfly, that's not a good suggestion. And I told you that butterfly story, I'm not going to repeat it because it was like such a weird story. So who is next? Let's go. We have Barbie is Libra. Anybody else is Libra? Whoa, 2152 fix. Jeez, Dion, I just paid for my alternator, $1,000. So what can I tell you? Okay, Libra, 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 Libra. What's up? Nothing for Libra? Okay, let's move on. Oh, I was just about to move on. And then, look at the combination that you're getting. You're getting Earth King, but you're getting Moon, and you're getting Seven of Sky. So, I think you guys are going full Mercury retrograde over here. Like Earth King is saying to me that you kind of like really figured, you pack something down, everything is okay, you know, you're moving on. Earth King is like also, hey, how do I accomplish what I want to accomplish? It could be also that you're assessing your financial kind of like health and checking the bills and checking what needs to be done. Maybe saying, well, you know, I'm struggling with this. Maybe I'm going to get a part-time job and kind of like it's going to push me forward. But somehow you're going to just simply end up more confused. The Moon card is always talking about wondering about your own actions and the actions of the other people. In fact, this week you guys will not know truly who is a friend and who is a foe, because you might even feel that people whom you trust somehow just turn on you. Please don't jump at it, because Mercury retrograde makes everybody doing like really bizarre and weird things, right? So it is really, really important over here to kind of calm down, tone down. The Moon is absolutely saying that you do not have all the information that you need to have, and that you need to be more in an observing mode and like have like 4 eyes and 4 ears in order to make a judgment about the situation. It's very, very important for that, right? So, oh guys, I have to tell you this. It's just amazing what you do on these dog walks. I'm like talking to this person, and I don't know, she asked me which sign I am, and then I said, and she says, well, you know, yeah, I do like astrology, but I like kind of like tarot a little bit more. So, oh, I love tarot. It's kind of like my specialty. And she says, yeah, you know, I go on YouTube and like, I mean, you can really find good readers. I said, yeah, I actually go. And I said, like, who do you like? She says, well, there is like this woman, it's called Cat Tarot. It was hilarious. Like, this one is a neighbor. So there you go. I have a first fan. She's kind of cute. So let's see. Libra, 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 Libra. Ooh, Soldier. Yeah, you're definitely going to be guarded, guys. And maybe it's going to feel that somebody wants to take something from you. Maybe it also could mean that there are bills coming through that you don't think you need to pay, or that somebody is causing you some kind of damage. Be very careful. Soldier is always about keeping secrets, and it's kind of like standing firm as well and defending something. So it's very important, and I really feel it kind of like comes down to the 4 walls. And 4 walls to me doesn't necessarily mean the house or room where you live in. It kind of like encompasses all the people who are part of your family, and that could be friends as well. So that's going to be very interesting. Air is going to be veiled and confused and guarded. So it's going to be fun being around air. So air, just buckle up. This too shall pass, okay? So who do I do next? Hey, purple psychic kitty, that's good to see. And it's like very unusual for me. Like if you know anything about me, I'm not a person who is going and trying to get accolades, and that's why I'm kind of like under the radar over here. But it was like very, very unusual and unexpected too. Like, it's a big world. So we are doing now, we did water, we did air, and so we have earth and fire. So I'm having the Taurus saying good Taurus, and I'm having a water. Didn't we do that? We did water first, and I'm going to have a cup of coffee. For some reason I was thinking doing fire, but it looks like only Michelle was saying things, and okay, so it's going to be earth. Let's do it. Earth. 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 Oh my gosh, wine. Okay, latte at least, like you're already like it's 1 o'clock there. We're in Puerto Rico, and here it's like still before noon. I can't imagine drinking alcohol in the morning. Mind you, I like my rum. Usually I drink rum with Coke and with tea, and it's kind of like staple in the house. Okay. Ooh, what the heck? I just remember I was dreaming about wolves. There is a story about, oh my gosh, I think it was about founding Rome. And guys, if you can Google it, I am not so sure if I'm telling you the truth. It was like two sisters, Buga and Tuga, I think, who were little wolves that founded the Rome. And that's kind of like was my dream, but I cannot remember it. Karma. DNA karma, wolf instinct, Milky Way perspective, and rain purification. So it's very, very interesting, guys, that this is showing up. It almost looks like you are resolving. I think it's like Buga, B-U-G-A, and Tuga, T-U-G-A. Just like try to seek stories about how Rome was founded. I think it was Rome. I'm completely kind of lost on my mythology right now in this moment. And I think there were like two cubs that kind of like were raised, but maybe I'm mixing 2 or 3 different stories. And so let's see this DNA karma, because DNA is like something that clearly defines who we are and where we are coming from, right? So it's pretty much that pointing finger to it, like you change DNA, you change your destiny, right? And it is that Sanskrit world, which really kind of like the theory is like there is this karmic wheel, and this is like pretty much the only card I have ever seen that doesn't kind of like represent that wheel, because karma is always moving and it's circular, right? But in this particular case, it's kind of like talking about kind of like those inheritances that we get through our DNA, which there is a question about, you know, about that primitive physical self before we are taking the form. The DNA is like from the get-go determining who we really are. Whenever I see this card, because it's not circular, this is more or less telling me about your soul, on a soul pattern, which kind of like is coming about the creation of you, which is not necessarily connected to your biological parents. Most of us live our lives sort of like owing to our family and protecting, not even realizing that maybe our soul comes from a completely different place. And some people become aware of that, sort of like having this star children, which I think something like that might be happening in your case, and that's why we have this Milky Way, right? And it's going to be lots of that higher self guidance that you'll be getting, and maybe that's why you're getting the wolf. Okay, this is not what I meant, Buga. I think it's spelled differently, B-U-G-A, but maybe I'm completely wrong. Oh my gosh, guys, you're disgusting. I have to say it. Wolf. So, given that I got a doggy recently, I studied wolves quite a bit. And I didn't even get a book. I've even forgotten what is the title of the book. I can look at it, but I don't think we really care. It is about a guy who was raising wolves and who was learning quite a bit of the lessons from them, right? And it is kind of like really that loyalty and teamwork and stuff that you can really figure it out, right? Because wolves are known for also companionship and playfulness and affection. There is like no DNA difference between wolves and dogs, even though pet industry would like you to feel different, and that's why they feed dogs with a whole bunch of crap, and wolves are still authentic and eating their meat, right? So they are kind of like guided by seeking food, right? This is their natural drive. And I think over the centuries, they kind of like encroach on the civilization in kind of like they're beginning to hunt whatever I guess is able to be done. So I'm wondering here, guys, Earth, if you maybe have lost touch with who you are, what is your instinctual nature. Maybe you're guided more or less, well, my boss expects me to do that, or my friend or my girlfriend or my boyfriend expects me to do that, my mother, my family, because you guys pay lots of attention to those bonds. And this is really telling me that this is a time to put it in a perspective. And the perspective is going to start with a question, who am I and where I'm going and what do I want? It's just kind of like it's one rule, do no harm, and everything else really, really goes, because you're getting this rain. And rain is like a really wonderful card, even though they really made it kind of like really bad in this particular deck. It's kind of like bringing kind of like growth. It's bringing something that needs to be released. So, and Milky Way is like who you are in the big scheme of things. Are you kind of like allowing your ego to kind of like take a better of you? So it's going to be lots of those big questions. Who am I? What am I doing here? And yet you're going to start discovering certain things about yourself that maybe were just before your eyes, but you failed to see them because you didn't pay attention to them. So it's going to be really, really interesting period for you guys. Okay, so who do I do here? What do I do? Let's start with Capricorn. Usually Capricorn ends up second or third, so let's kind of change this a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So Capricorn. How many Capricorns do we have here? How many Capricorns do we have? Capricorns. Where is Have today? Have didn't show up? What's going on? And I only have 20 people. So what's up today? You're on strike? Okay, Capricorn. Chariot. You see, Chariot is like usually talking about a single person. I'm going to be very honest with you. And it's kind of like this Great Danes, and I think Lati has Great Danes over here. And there's like this essence of I am moving forward, I am moving ahead, I understand, I have resolve. And yeah, maybe I was confused with which way to go, in which direction. I had to unite or understand a few things. It could be that you guys have two choices, and you're realizing maybe neither of these choices is the right one, but both of them have a meaning in your life. There was a reason for it, and now kind of like a focus has to go elsewhere. So that's why kind of it's asking of you to kind of like go in and deeper and feeling it, right? So let's see. What are we going to get? Anything else? Huh? This one, we have the Sun, and what happened with these three cards? And these are like two majors, guys. Capricorn, we are going through some new instinctual thing. The Sun is also, I really think you allow or have people in your life who maybe shouldn't be there, or you didn't kind of like create those layers, you know, layers of hell like in Dante's, right? But no, it's more or less like who stays, who goes, or almost like maybe you are going somewhere. And then you also have the Emperors. You have a Sea King and you have a Fire King. It's like not raining, but it's pouring for you people. So it almost looks like that could be 3 people in your life. It could be more. It's good choice to have. and you actually have to figure out the position of everybody. So it looks like there are different aspects of certain people in your life. It almost looks like that you're seeing that aspect and not seeing that there's like much more behind this. Somebody's like so much fun. Somebody is, hey, you know, let's do kind of like stuff, right? Let's bask in the sun together and kind of like sail into the sunset. They're like somebody who has this big emotion, right? And kind of like this whole emotional thing is feeling comfort, and it could be a quieter person, but who is kind of like slow and steady, but kind of like a deep, kind of like quiet water. And then there is this the Empress, which could be like really a mate of choice, could be like your ex-partner, could be your perfect woman or a perfect man. The Empress is also talking about the creativity. It could be somebody wealthier, it could be somebody who is a mother or a father, but kind of like a very protective of the people. So we have everything. We have fire, we have water, we have earth and air. Like everything is represented over here. So it simply kind of like boils down to you guys, to what you want. It really goes down to those two cards, which way you want to go. You have to pull yourself away in a new direction, and it's kind of really hard for you because there are like so many options, so many choices, and every single one has its own appeal. So let me pull the card over here. Let me just pull the card. And you have journey. And I really think it's like inner journey. I really think it's spiritual journey. You guys will really, I highly advise meditating this particular week. You will be getting some really interesting messages. Maybe you should just meditate and repeat the question, who am I? Where I'm coming from? And you're going to actually really find that you'll be getting some answers that will even surprise you, given that you usually are very pragmatic. You know, you're like always like, eye on a ball. But this particular week, you're going to get information about you and people around you that will actually surprise you quite a bit, but in a good way. So that's really good. And you're back, madam? You're back? Okay, so let's see Virgo next. Virgo. Who am I? Who am I? It's kind of like the proverbial, right, question. So I'm lost. So Virgo, and something flicked. We have Ten of Fire. I'm wondering here, because in this particular deck we see cats. They were actually meeting in the stage of 9. They were gathering around fire because it's nice and warm and cozy. Now feeling that even the nice and warm cozy situation can actually explode in your face, and it actually can force you to move in different directions. The fire is jumping everywhere. Some people are running and some people are staying. It's almost like going to feel this way. Maybe you have people around you that could have some kind of like secrets. Maybe you have people, maybe you want to keep some secrets, or maybe it is just simply time, just very much like Capricorn, to start paying attention to, you know, getting out of a situation maybe that was a stagnation, that kind of like felt comfortable for a while. Almost like sounds like that somebody was in a relationship that was roached over, but it felt comfortable. But it feels like right now, look, you know, maybe I overstayed my welcome, or if this is not going anywhere, I'm only going to harm myself by sticking around in the situation. So it is a time to kind of address it. Okay, all right. Let's grab at least another card over here. You guys are getting major reading, and you're getting Earth Tom, so which is really good. So that would be a friend. That will be protector. It will be somebody who has your best interests in mind, and it is moving forward. This actually even can represent you, that you're feeling very protective of your own family. Maybe something came in a way that you start realizing how that little kind of like tiny nook of friends and blood relatives that we have is really important. Maybe somebody was trying to shake this up, And now you're kind of like really looking at all of that through completely different kind of like lenses, which kind of like is going to make you feel very protective. Earth storm also means that it could be somebody coming into your life who might not be necessarily very appealing to you, because this person is not going to come with kind of like special agenda or anything else, but simply kind of like, hey, you know, I want to meet, I want to know who you are. And you might feel a little bit hesitant moving toward this person because you got burned in the past. But I would advise you to at least, you know, accept this invitation for a coffee. It's a scholar. It could be somebody who is well educated. It could be somebody who you will find very interesting. And it could be through that person that you're going to reach some kind of like understanding or discovery of yourself. Because the person is going to be pretty deep, and it's going to be conversation about life and the big things. So it's going to be really interesting for you guys. Virgo, you like people who are not superficial. You really like people who have something really interesting thing to say, and your wish is going to be made true in this person. Or it could be you who simply will meet somebody in the places that maybe you didn't visit such a long time. In libraries, anybody still goes to library? I mean, I let my membership go. I mean, it's free in Toronto, but we still have to kind of like renew it every year. I just don't really know. Maybe I should, actually. I like to hold a book. It's not the same as Kobo, but it is what it is. Books are a thing of the past, I believe, or at least in the physical form. And who I didn't do it, Capricorn, I did Virgo, and let's do Taurus. Taurus, Taurus got the Lovers reversed. Interestingly enough, there are some choices. There's somebody who doesn't want to commit. It could be you who doesn't want to commit. Interestingly enough, also it is reversed. It's kind of like almost going back toward the Hierophant, which is the card that represents you. Maybe you're trying to get out of your own shell. Maybe you don't think you're ready. Maybe you're trying to get out of a relationship, or somebody's trying to get out of the relationship, and you don't really know how to, Taurus moon, how to react in a situation. Whenever I see the Lovers reversed, it's really telling me that one person is taking situation seriously, another person not at all, and it's kind of like the decision has to be made. And you also have Earth over here in your reading, and this is clearly Earth Queen. It will be your flavor. Earth Queen is very close to Empress. It is like feeling full comfort and enjoying everything that life has to offer. So it's really telling me that somebody is ready to go into something committed, to go into something which, you know, I'm living this life because I want to enjoy this life and I want to share this with someone. Earth Queen tends to be very pragmatic and practical and a professional and a mother. And she's always looking for somebody who is kind of like willing to kind of like be shoulder to shoulder with her. And it doesn't look like that the person here is on par, and the decision will have to be made. And maybe this is why, let's put things in perspective. If your instinct is telling you this is going nowhere, then hey, you know, maybe it is a really time to kind of like really put yourself into this position of importance and just put your foot down about what you want and who you are. So let's see. And you got a wedding. And just as I said, this could be about a commitment. This could be about what you want. Maybe somebody is stringing you along. And whenever you approach this, like, I mean, serious question, kind of like it gets muffled and shoved away. I mean, sure, it's a big commitment when you're going from singlehood to, you know, relationship, because you have to deal with now responsibility and possibly children. It changes your lifestyle, and you guys, you have to understand, if somebody is not ready for it, there is no point in pushing this person forward in one way or another. So it's kind of like really, really good to address this. And who was neglected today? Who is the last one here? So the fire. I think fire, fire, fire. Brooke is probably reading people and trying to figure it out, you know, who needs to get their sample reading over here. So let's see. Fire. What's going on with fire? I mean, I definitely see that fire will be dealing with earth this particular week. That's going to be interesting. Okay, fire. Oh my gosh, Brooklyn. Tiger's still not doing it. But apparently my brother said when his dog does it, she purposely comes his lab in a tiny little workroom where he has, like, she farts and then she walks away. So it's almost comical that she kind of like does it there. So let's go. Fire, fire, fire. Fire, fire, fire. Oops. Oh my goodness. You got dream time. It's a creation. And this card is really talking about this Daijiru, I think, and I keep mispronouncing it, and Australians here are going to again spank me. And this is really talking about this hollow log that apparently created this whole life, and look at everything is coming through it. And this is not only living being, but all the creatures over here, everything that we see around us. Like, I mean, and it's a dream time. It's about whatever you can think of can be created. So fire, oh my goodness, like, I mean, this is really something really, really good happening. Finally, there is like this motion forward, right? So what kind of like world you want to create in what kind of circumstances you want to find yourself over here, because there is like this possibility of creating your own dreams over here, right? It's almost like there's some kind of like crossover between physical and spiritual reality. So allow yourself to sink into the heart and just like see what your like big heart really wants, right? Because this is also talking about a creative action, and you need to pay attention to imagery and sounds and feelings, and just really kind of like understand the pulse of everything around you. It's really kind of like for some reason going to be prominent for the people in the northern hemisphere, because everything is waking up and realizing how everything is connected. I mean, if you wish, if you believe in God, how everybody's God's creature and nothing, everybody else is similar with us in certain way, it's going to be almost very generous and very connective energy that you're going to have this particular week, fire. So what do we do? So who do we have? We have Sagittarians, we have Leos, and we have Aries. So let's go in order. Let's go with Aries. Let's go with Aries. Let's go with Aries. Okay. Thank you, Dion. Hey guys, come on. Let's not have the fart conversation here. We can have something more tasty. How about perfume instead? Okay. Aries, Aries, Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. Aries, Aries. Ooh, my goodness. Aries is getting full-blown reading. Six of Sky. Somebody's ticked off and somebody's fed up. I'm not playing with you. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home. And then you have the Priestess. Almost like looks like, and Aries is like never shying away from any kind of like fight. And I can see here fur is flying all over the place and somebody's getting hurt. I absolutely see somebody getting hurt. And then again and again, I have the Lovers and Ten of Fire. So you guys, you might have a lover's spat. I can see here. It might be one of those situations that you can even break up with someone. It might be even a spur of jealousy. Who the heck was she? Who the heck was him? And it could be secrets over here. It's going to go in a whole bunch of directions. It's almost like you're expanding who you are. But there's like the stabilization over here that you are really understanding direction where you really want to go. You're getting this Lovers. It means, hey, I will choose and I know what I want to choose. Like, and there are these two sixes that you have, which tells me that if you are or not already in a relationship with somebody, it could be appearance of somebody who could be a soulmate, but it's not going to be a smooth sailing. It's going to be kind of like rocky road, but rocky road that is going to go from, hey, leave me alone, I don't want to hear from you, to, okay, well, you know, let's try it again, to, you know, almost like they are going to challenge you on every single level. It almost like when it kind of connects with this card, with this many cards showing up, and there are also 6 cards that kind of like came through, that is making me wonder if maybe you're going to form or discover a new part of yourself, and maybe you have lost tolerance for certain BS, and now somebody's coming in your life who is like significantly interesting but also significantly annoying, and you have to figure out which side is going to prevail over here. So let me see what kind of card do we get here. We get Messenger reversed. It's going to be lots of miscommunication here, guys, so I guess maybe this is a good lesson over here. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't scratch somebody's eyeballs out because you didn't really like the word that was used. Don't be oversensitive. Oh my gosh, we are living through these times where people cannot use words anymore and everything is taken too seriously. And maybe this is why this is saying, like, kind of like thing, if you can come from a scratch, well, that means we didn't kind of develop the Chinese torture, the sensitivity to this like regular kind of like, I mean, drops. Like, then how can we kind of expand and be better? And with you guys, you have like this immense potential of meeting somebody who is going to challenge you to the point, and you guys like challenge. You like to butt horns with the other people, and it could be also that you're meeting somebody who is actually already in a relationship with someone, and this is kind of like in particularly interesting to you. So, you know, play by sword, die by sword. So just be it, but be very careful, because maybe one person is not telling you the full truth. Maybe you are comprehending situation not in a way that should be comprehended. I would ask myself lots of questions over here. Okay, so that was Aries. The next one is Leo. Leo, 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 Leo. Well, nothing wrong with being single if you're happy. If you're kind of like forced to be single, that's kind of a completely different situation, right? Let's do Leo, 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 Leo. What? Leo? Nothing? Nada? Niche. Okay, I'm opening 3 cards for Leo. Sky Queen, Death, and 2 of Fire. The Sky Queen is definitely Queen of Swords. You're being stuck in maybe your thoughts. Maybe you have learned some lessons, but learning those lessons kind of brought you to maturity that you actually never wanted to have. Maybe you guys dealing with another fire sign, maybe you guys dealing with Scorpio, or maybe you're dealing with an air sign over here. It's a very kind of like sad rendition of this particular card, because when you see all these 9 lives being kind of like lifted from this poor kitty over here. But the Death card in the upright situation is not a bad thing. Just like the last card is talking about opening doors and wondering what is ahead of me. Maybe there is like some kind of like release that needs to happen. Maybe there is like this view from the above and saying, well, you know, certain things I'm not going to touch, certain things I'm not going to look, and now what is left is kind of like think about the possibilities. 2 of Fire is always about what kind of world is out there, what will I have there, and what do I want to have there. So it's very, very positive, Leo, over here. So maybe there is like a new opportunity to transform yourself, to see things differently, and to kind of like really plan the next phase and what kind of like world you really want to be in. Okay, so you've got this card, which is Melancholy. Well, it could be that you're thinking about the past, that you are sort of like going through the old photo albums, that you're wondering what you can find there and who you can find there. Melancholy is also sometimes being stuck in our vision of our world that we wanted to build in, and other people just simply didn't get a memo and they didn't behave the way we wanted them. And it's kind of like that feeling of, well, I wish things kind of like went on differently. But then again, Sky Queen is telling you, come on, like maybe you will need to wake up from that nostalgia and that melancholy, and say to yourself, like, you know, I can be stuck down this kind of like road forever, but it is a time to release certain kind of like past things. Maybe you're really hoping something will kind of be born out of some situation, but the truth is like that something that really needs to happen, a situation that you need to kind of like see yourself acting and reacting differently, and that's going to be the way out. So the very last one, so let's go with Sagittarius. You're being the last on the menu today. Saggies. Ooh, you're getting Demon Cat, also reversed. I don't know who else got this Demon Cat reversed. Gemini, right? I think. This should be a memory game. Which card came in which sign? Oh, that's going to be a good one. That's what we can do next. So guys, also moderators, I would like you to contact Lati, if you can give them your email. And so Lati can actually send you kind of like information, because I'm going to change this kind of like format and how this winners are going to get it. So Lati can send you instruction, but you need to send her your email, please. So Demon Cat again. Demon Cat reversed means that Sagittarians are simply shedding certain things. I mean, Demon, the devil, can talk about a third-party relationship. Demon can talk about all kinds of addictions. But I always see exes when I see this card. I always see, you know, an unhealthy involvement. That can mean anything from ex trying to kind of like knock on your door, look you up, you know, seeing you on Facebook and stopping by, but that stopping by turns into let's get together, then let's get together turns into we end up in bed and you know, have a husband and wife at home kind of a thing, right? Where things just like take a different turn. Or also when the past is kind of like coming back for some kind of reason, I guess it's giving you opportunity. Whoa, it's giving you opportunity to release certain things. These two cards are extremely strong combination. You're getting the World card, which means, okay, you have learned something. Maybe somebody is going to come from the past to tempt you, and you are going to have a completely different perspective in this particular situation. This is the end of the road for somebody, for sure. You're kind of putting the final touches over something. The world simply means you're so clear about the situation, about what's going on, that you are no longer questioning yourself. You know, it's almost like when, you know, a smoker quits and then they're again in the smoking company of the others and they're tempted. But in this particular case, you're not even tempted anymore. You don't even want to be around, because it's just like you realize I made this change and this change is permanent. So this is very, very strong, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's see one more card for you. Okay, sweetheart. You might be flirting, and I'm seeing a whole bunch of signs over here, guys. It could be earth signs. Clearly could be in particular Capricorn or Taurus from Earth. Then you also have Aquarius, Leo, and Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio that I see. Sweetheart means that it's going to be a part of you that's going to be flirty and loving and caring, and you know, going to you will be making phone calls this particular week. And it's going to be really complete clarity about who you're going and how you're going. Also, it almost could be like that you're finishing one thing and you're going to start another thing, and you're going to start feeling, and I'm feeling really comfortable. It is a time for this like new life, a new kind of like evolution. And I'm seeing in all three cases, fire is totally moving toward some new creation, new start in the middle of Mercury retrograde, which means that obviously you need to deal with some old stuff and clear them once for all. Kind of like one of those things. Well, so there we go. We did manage to get in under hour and a half, and thank you guys for sticking around. So, Brooklyn, have you made your decision, my lady? Have you? Okay, send him a bunch of golf balls. Oh, Tiger, actually, I don't know where is the golf ball that was in a cat toy. He did manage to pull it out. It's amazing that this is a little 20-pound puppy is so strong that, like, I mean, when he's on a leash, he's able to pull me, and his jaw can pull this like wedged golf ball. But it is what it is. Oh, Andy R is the winner. Congratulations, Andy. And you need to fill the form for a winner. So congratulations. I don't think that you won before. And thank you, Silly Jen, as well. Let me just write it down for you, the form of place, so you can get a sample of the reading. So here you go. Just fill it up and fill it out. Oh my goodness, I need my tea and rum, and I'm going to get better. And have an amazing week, guys, everyone. You know, so let's get together the next week at the same time, and then I'm going to have a better idea what's going to happen the week after that. And please, mods, did you Lati, give them your email? Did you give your email? Please drop your email as well, so they can contact you and send you their emails. I actually do have quite a bit of the emails, so I can also give her that as well. So thank you so much. But Andy, yes, you need to drop also your email over here so we can see it, because believe it or not, sometimes I have people claiming this, and we know then who the person is when we get an email over here. So that's what is really, really important. So Andy, just type the email. Lati is going to snatch it as soon as okay, good, Lati. I don't know if everybody is still here, so we are going to collect them all. I think about the same dandelion coffee that I have called Dandy Blend. Yeah, that's the one. It's really, really good. It's kind of creamy. You know, Silly Jane, like what you can do the bulletproof. Did you ever think about it? Kind of like you make the coffee and you put it, especially if you like it with cream. I don't know if it's going to work without cream. So you put it in a mixer with a little bit of cream and sugar and a little bit of butter, and then it almost like it's just tastes just like latte. It's really, really amazing. So thank you guys, everybody, for being here. We got the email. I'm going to get it, and then Andy, please fill the form, and we'll go with that. And everybody, just have a wonderful week. I'm going to leave the music on for a few more minutes so we can say goodbye to each other, and then we're going to touch base and enjoy the next week. Love you, love you, love you. And Dion, have a nice sleep and good night to you. Love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Hopefully I see you next week, and in the meantime, see you on Facebook and Instagram. Love you, love you.